Hi, I'm Mike. This is the mile 25 Trestle. It's above the city of Port Alberni, and I'm partway through the outbound leg of my hike. Thanks very much for watching this. Here's the location of my hike, Vancouver Island on the west coast of British Columbia, and the little red dot is the rough location. It is just near the city of Port Alberni. Here are the rail lines, part of the Esquimalt and Nanaimo Railway, and the line running from right to left is the Port Alberni Subdivision, where my hike is, and the line going up the coastline up towards Courtenay is the Victoria Subdivision. And again, the red line marks the area of my hike. Here is a close map of my hike, showing the railway and Highway 4, starting at the Port Alberni summit and going westward. The red circle is my starting and ending point. It's where the railway crosses the Loon Lake Forest Service Road. That's mile 22.1. The red circle near the top is my turnaround, mile 26. And that, of course, is the extent of my hike. 3.8 miles out, same back. That's 7.6 miles total. Works out to be just over 12 kilometers of walking. I took my time during my hike, lots of time for diversions and lingering at interesting spots. I started at 6:25 a.m. and I finished at 12:50 p.m. This first mile is very peaceful to walk. Reminds me why I love to do this. It's just so peaceful. Great solitude here. And I'm coming up to milepost 23 in just a ways. While I'm waiting for my photograph to finish, there's the moon. It's the last quarter. I think that's what they call it. It's the week before the new moon. (6:42 a.m. now. Sunrise is about 6:58, and it's supposed to be an overcast day today, so I'm hoping for some good photography light. There are a lot of longer tangent sections here between mile 22 and close to mile 24, and good for railroading. And for walking, I can get a bit tedious. I love coming around this corner. The rock cut is very beautiful. I just like the patterns on the rocks. Nice. Okay, let's continue walking west. Here's evidence of the fiber optic cable project. I'm thankful for what it's done for making 8 miles of this railway much more accessible to me. The main issue with overgrowth that impacts me is the broom weeds, and the fact that those broom weeds carry ticks, and the ticks can carry Lyme disease. And so, one of the reasons I stack my hikes in the autumn season and a few over the winter and the spring and then not in the summer is to avoid the broom and the ticks. And although there is some nice leaf color here already, mid-September, I am, by doing this hike now, I'm sacrificing seeing the better color later on in October. But again, I can only be in so many places as a hobby, and October is an odd time for photography, in that there are a lot more weather constraints, and it's always a big guess for the autumn leaves, waiting long enough for the color to be just perfect, but not to have a windstorm knock them all down. So what happens is you just go out as much as you can and you see what you can, and that always improves your chances of seeing something beautiful. At the end of this straight stretch, the railway used to keep going straight instead of curving off to the left. And there was a trestle that used to cross a gully here. And in 1971, they did some projects to remove some old trestles, and removed and replaced with a new grade that goes around the gully. And so that's what we're going to see here at mile 23.9. Looking back eastward on a clear day, you can see Mount Arrowsmith, but there are clouds. Perhaps on my way back I'll see that. So here's the type of rock cut that is so common around here, with the dark color. And if you went straight, that's the 1971 and prior line, and we're going on the post 71 line here. Curves around, tight corner. We're in the curve that bypassed the trestle. Down there, the gully that the trestle crossed. 51 years of tree growth makes an impact in what you can see. You have to imagine a lot of it. When I'm walking past areas where there used to be a different route of the railway for an old trestle or something like that, I spend a lot of time turning around and staring at all the different angles, trying to figure out where things used to be. It's the 24 post. There's the utility pole and cable that head on down Lacey Lake Road, which means I'm coming up to the site of what was Stokes Siding, which was up here on the right. Siding track, long since removed. And at the end of this straight stretch is where Lacey Lake Road crosses. Alright, Lacey Lake Road. To the left it goes down. It meets Highway 4 at the Coombs Country Candy Store. This is a very popular recreation route, especially on a weekend like today. And let's continue down the railway. I'm now leaving the area that had some vegetation cut back for the fiber optic project. So I'm entering the land of the broom. I have to be careful for ticks. Here's where the trail up to Alberni Lookout goes. And I'm continuing on, and I get this into the bush type of mood here. I'm coming up to the spot where the grade and track have been practically undermined because of a landslide. I don't know if it was caused by water, but it's been maybe 2 years now. And there's the culvert that was pushed out. It used to be underneath the track. And it's very close to here is the edge it undermines. There you can see is the crack in the earth. I'll show you a wide angle. I'm coming up to the mile 25 trestle. It's the only trestle I'm going to see today. It's straight and simple, but pretty. I always enjoy seeing this in the early morning light. This is still up. I wasn't expecting this. It's, well, one of the ties is really poor. Maybe after another winter it'll be down. Not that I'm wishing that. Now to go back for my camera. This is the one that's in bad shape. Okay, I'm back at the west end of the trestle, mile 25, as if I needed to say that. I've still got a mile to go that direction, and I'll do that in a few moments. Whenever I'm up here, I'm always questing for the better photograph from this location right here. Okay, let's spin around here. Alberni Valley. Here's the trestle. There's my favorite looking down view. You can see the path that I'm going to take towards mile 26. on the railway through there. This next mile is one of my favorites. Very moody in the woods. Alberni Valley, and to the left you can see Spur Lake, and on the middle right is a little small peekaboo view of Great Central Lake. I'm back down here, ready to turn around, continue walking westward. I enjoy this area, this last mile, partly because it's the furthest out from where I start, so it's hard to get to, and just makes it a bit more special, the effort required, but it is quite lovely. Here comes the tree tunnel. I always love this into the woods spot. This is another one of my favorite views. Here's the Scorpa mountain bike trail. Goes down, goes up, people have fun. Speaking of favorite spots, I really love this rock area. Coming up to a waterfall area. Water falling down a rock, pooling at the bottom. That's what happens during the non-drought part of the year. Yeah. You can see there, it's normally water standing. The other thing is I was waiting for a tree to fall down. Another one, and I think it's this one right here, going left to right. Last time I was here, it was very much undermined on the slope by erosion. Yeah, it's fallen, but it's fallen that way. Okay, I'm glad it didn't fall on the track. Somewhere in this area, around mile 25.7 or 8, was a spur for a lumber company, and it went off the north side of the track, and so it's this side on the right. And I'm just looking for areas where it might be, might have been. This is one possible spot here, coming up to a curve here where there's quite a big rock outcropping we go around, but through here there is some ground where the spur could have gone off. If it did, it was through here. And it would have gone this way, and I could very well be in it right now. Yeah, that's nice and level through there. So it would have, if it was here, it would have started here, gone through that way. All just my speculation based on some old charts I saw. Yeah, the rock is right here. Hey, oh, that's my own animal call. No one ever answers back. There's open ground up there from a logging cut block. As I'm getting closer to mile 26. Because of all the overgrowth here, I don't notice a lot of the landscape on either side, especially when I'm going into a rock cut area like I am now. And for this area, I didn't really notice it last time I was here until I was back home editing video. And I'm like, okay, rock on either side. The railway is fairly level, about 1.4, 1.5% grade. It's pretty steady, but the landscape on either side is constantly changing in level. Sometimes I've got a steep drop-off cliff beside me, and now I'm in a cut with rock walls covered with moss and vegetation on either side. Just have to look close enough to see it. And now the walls on either side of me have disappeared. Got a drop off on my left again. I've got much respect for the engineers and surveyors of that 1910, 1911 era when this was being built. Wow, great job. Just about at mile 26, I'm at the ginormous maple tree. And when I come back here in October from the other end, I think I'll make this my turnaround because of the leaves. So beautiful. And here's milepost 26. Good place for my turnaround. Well, until I get back here from the other way, I'm going to linger here for a bit, change my camera batteries, have something to drink, and then get going eastward. Railways built up here on either side. The left side are the magnificent maple trees. Such a pleasant area to walk. And here's where the both side walls have started. So I'm in a cut. So I'm back to the big curve with around the big rock. It's not really that big of a curve. It's just that it hugs the rock so closely. So here on the left is again where I'm fairly sure there was a spur track for a lumber company, and it went in through here because it is fairly level and has the look of an old grade beside the track here next to this slope. Walk through here. Has the look of an old grade. Right there. More speculation on my part, which is fine. Again, looks like it would have been something. and just overgrown there. Here's looking in from the east end of this. Who knows? It's just fun for me to read something in a history book or see it on an old chart, and then walk into the general area and then let the imagination take over. That's why I love this hobby. I love this spot. I'm about mile 25.2. Nice long tangent. Here's the rocks where I was a while ago on my way out. Up ahead is the signpost for mile 25, and beyond it is the trestle. Okay, let's cross the trestle, and I'm going to do this in a sped up video style. Oh yeah. Until next time. And here I am at the undermined part, about mile 24.885. Here's the trail to the lookout, and that means I'm coming up to Lacey Lake Road. Here's the level crossing. That's where the road goes down and up. This rock right here is a great spot for me to take a break. Stoke siding would have been on the left years ago, and it ends right around here, or a bit behind me. It goes up to Lacey Lake Road, and there's the long tangent back to the level crossing I was at. Back to the area that's been groomed for the fiber optic cable project a year ago or less. So it's easier to walk, less overgrowth, better sight lines. Well, 2 more miles, just under 2 more miles to get back to where I started. That's about an hour of walking. This is about mile 23.9. Just keep on moving. Looking down the straightaway and Similar to this morning, Mount Arrowsmith is not visible thanks to the clouds. That's okay. The clouds are giving me good photography lighting. Hey, another milepost. I've got about 20 minutes to go till I'm done. Alright, getting closer to the end. Not meant to sound like a whine, but it's been a good hike. It's good to get back into this feeling. It's been very enjoyable. Here's the final curve. In the distance you can see the level crossing for Loon Lake Forest Service Road. And I'm done, back at where I started from. This has been a lot of fun.